Hi everyone, and welcome to a Crash the Stash for Shawn Petite's channel. I'm super excited to be on her design team, and it's really going to be a fun, great year. Here we're starting in my art journal with some collage papers, and we're going to put that down with Liquitex matte medium. Adding those papers and creating that first layer of the background. This piece was quite fun to make, and I used 4 different stencils from Shawn Petite's line. Here I've got some, believe it or not, bounce dryer sheets that I'm going to use for texture in the background. Putting down some matte gel, and I'm gonna adhere that texture to the background over my collage pieces. I'm always looking for different things to add texture, and I was doing the laundry and there was the bounce dryer sheets. I thought, well, it even smells good, so I'll have some good smelling art journal page. Get that all adhered to the back, and we're going to let it dry a little bit. Alright, adding some gesso. This is also by Liquitex. We're going to push that collage paper to the back and have it all be even and cover up that texture. I really love art journaling, and this Crash the Stash that Shawn Petite has is really fun. I'm looking forward to filling my journal. Now we're going to need to let that dry so that we can put down our first stencil. And the first one that I'm going to use is Shawn Petite's lace stencil. Really beautiful. Cutting off the edges of that dryer sheet. We don't need that hanging over. Just using some leftover tissue paper in between my pages so they don't stick together. The color of acrylic paint I'm using is my all-time favorite. It is ocean green, and it's a master's touch acrylic paint. I'm using a makeup sponge to put that down. Just adding another layer to that background. I will list all of the supplies that I use on my blog, and you'll be able to see the details at the end of the video, how to reach me. And I do have my own YouTube channel, and I post every Tuesday with a mixed media piece. Please check me out. I'd love to have you subscribe, and we can follow this art journey together. Letting that dry, and now I'm going to put down my water and burnt umber wash of paint to bring out all of that texture. And I forgot to mention that I put down this paper cutout of a dragonfly. You'll see it come through right here. And it was just a die that I had in my stash that I absolutely love. And I put it down with matte medium and let it dry. Just spraying water on the wash of paint and letting it go in all of those nooks and crannies, making that texture pop. Look at that dryer sheet. No one would ever know our little secret. I'm leaving that area there a little lighter in the right hand center because I'm thinking that's where I'm going to put my sentiment. You can keep going over and over your piece with the acrylic and water, making the color darker. It's easier to make it darker, but it's a little difficult to make it lighter sometimes. I think it looks good. Everything's dry. Here's my sentiment. It says, "Look for the miracles." And I just used a rubber stamp and I stamped it on tissue paper. And now I'm going to put it down with some matte medium and water and a brush. And I put a hole in it right by the double O's in look. But just picking the piece off with my tweezers there, and I'll go back over with the marker and fix it. Here I'm going through my acrylic paint swatches to see what paints I should pick out for the next stencil. And the next stencil is going to be the Garden 2 stencil. Getting another makeup sponge, and the paint I'm using is a Deco Art Americana paint, light avocado, and the other green that I'm going to use is a Dilutions chopped pesto paint. Both of those are acrylic. Putting down those leaves for my flowers. I use this stencil a lot, very versatile. The next stencil that I'm going to use, also by Shawn Petite, of course, is called Flowers Silhouette 6. Very cool. And remember to turn your stencils over to get the flowers going in the other direction. I picked out 2 colors of orange, and they are Harvest Orange by Apple Barrel Paints and a Dina Wakley acrylic paint called Cheddar. I really like Dina Wakley's paint. It has a great texture. Using the same colors of green from before, a makeup sponge, putting down the stems of the flowers, and then the top part, of course, is going to be the 2 colors of orange. Just reminds me of the daylilies that are blooming right now in front of my house. It's looking good so far. There, I'm turning that stencil around to get the other side. There, I've got all of the images in, and I'm going to use this next stencil, one of very most favorites, and it's called Let It Fly 2. I'm a big dragonfly person. And here I'm using my archival ink with a stenciling sponge, and I can put the description of that in the blog. I'm not sure the name of that brush, but I'll find it for you. They come in a variety of sizes. Really works well for archival ink. Look at how crisp that image is. Very neat. There, I've got everything done now, and I did go over the sentiment with a micron pen, and I'm just making it a little bit darker. I'm also going to use an Inktense watercolor pencil, a watercolor pencil brush, and my charcoal pencil to go around the images. Now, I did put some paint back over some of those leaves in the bottom there to make them all seem to come together. And this is the easiest way, I thought, to make this watercolor pencil kind of run and smudge in those crevices. I would take the watercolor pencil and go around the image and then spray it with my water. It took a while, but it was very rewarding in the end. Now I'm using a Marabou crayon in black to darken the edges, just like Shawn does. I really like that effect. She's taught me a lot, and I appreciate all the lessons that she gives me. There. Now I'll have some close-up pictures for you, and I just put a little bit of that watercolor pencil around the image to pull it all together. I was thinking it was looking a little white there. I will spray this piece with a Spectrafix fixative, and here are the final pictures. Look for the miracles and join me on this journey. It's going to be a great time. Thanks for watching.